We have been getting a ton of different marketing for Bleach Rebirth of Souls. We got the announcement trailer, gameplay trailer. Now we have 3 new character trailers to be able to showcase and talk about today. So we got Ichigo, we got Rukia, and Uru. So we're going to be going through each one of these. They're kind of short, but it is kind of an interesting format to say the least, because I feel like this game has just been marketing insanely, and it kind of lets me know that this game is not too far away. I do think it's still about 6-7 months away, so probably not even 2024, but early 2025 is a definite possibility with the way that they're marketing this game. And if they keep doing these kind of character trailers where they're doing this like kind of enhanced breakdown, it could mean that we might not be able to get like a lot of different variations of characters, because they're trying to go really in detail with specific characters. We'll have to kind of see a little bit more on who they kind of introduce. So let's go ahead and talk about Ichigo. This is going to be our first one. We're going to do a reaction to it, so I'm not going to talk too much over it. Just kind of let it play, and then we'll kind of run it back and then pause where we need to and stuff like that. I want to see what they're doing with this. These reminisce me of like kind of the Tekken stuff where they're showing like individual characters and kind of their different things, which makes me think that they're taking a lot of love and care into individual characters. But if they are doing that, then the roster could be a little bit limited in terms, because, you know, it takes just so much to make so unique characters, you know. I mean, Sparking Zero's doing it, but we all know how Dragon Ball is. Spiritual pressure move. Okay. So we've seen a lot of Ichigo's stuff because he's been the forefront of a lot of different things. So we have a lot of a good understanding of Ichigo's stuff. I'm really curious to see Rukia and Uru's. Then we got Bankai. I wonder if Renji's going to be next, because Renji's just getting... he gets his ass kicked, dude. I think this is the end of it. Yeah, so Ichigo, high damage opponent and easy to handle. Okay, we got it on loop. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and scrub through this real quick to like right here, I think is where we want to see the first little thing. So he's got reverse. Reverse action is the key to defense and offense in this game, in addition to effects of the normal reverse action. So reverse is a universal thing for all characters, it seems like. Ichigo is given various enhancements, such as boost in basic performance, changes in some actions, and I can't really read the bottom part, but I think an increased damage to his Kikon move. So it looks like Ichigo takes the reverse thing and he's able to do a couple of different things based on it. So it looks like we're able to have certain characters do a little bit more or less with different kind of mechanics in the game. Reverse is like a universal mechanic, and then Ichigo could do some different things based on that, which is really cool. So the reverse is basically just that little bar at the bottom that allows them to do offensive and defensive stuff like that. So the old man Zangetsu thing is really cool. I like how he's just kind of there to kind of help out. So special flash attack, a move that attacks while charging forward. When successfully executed, the attack can be continued if an additional input is made during the attack. So we actually have manual stuff based on hitting it. So if we're able to hit it, you can do manual actions. I wonder how long you have to do a manual input. Like, can you do a whole combo with it if you're able to hit it? So it looks like if they are able to dodge or obviously block it, then you can't finish out the technique. But let's go ahead and see if they show us just a little bit of what this looks like. So it's like that dash attack, you've seen that. And then, oh, he kind of went behind him, and then he goes into this like slashing move. Okay. So that's more of like a basic attack kind of rush down type of thing. So Ichigo looks like he's definitely going to be like in your face, which is very kin to him. So spiritual pressure move. So we got an attack used by wielding Zangetsu that momentarily makes Ichigo invincible. An additional power attack is activated when it successfully hits. So we actually have a lot of things that are like confirmed on attack that you're able to kind of follow up with if you're able to do it. But this seems like it's going to be pretty easy to hit if he goes invincible. So the only real option here is to block or dodge, right? So this is cool though. This is the attack that we're actually seeing where he takes Zangetsu and like flings it around on the cloth there, like white Zangetsu kind of does. Or white Ichigo, I guess. And then we got kind of a break, reverse. Okay, so this is your reverse into Bankai. Okay, so this is his awakening. For some reason, the player like pulled me out of it. Ichigo's performance speed and defense dramatically increases, as well as the number of additional special flash attacks, allowing for more aggressive attacks to be carried out. So yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about, where I knew his Shikai was going to be a little bit slower, then his Bankai was obviously going to be a lot quicker. So on top of that, you get performance speed. I wonder what performance means, because it doesn't necessarily say attack, it says performance. I wonder if there's different sets and stuff we kind of can take a look at. And then you get different special flash attacks that allow him for more aggressive. So you're definitely going to want to be in someone's face with this. So you can definitely tell that just based on the information. This is what I'm wondering. It shows the holification, like half mask Ichigo. And a lot of people are speculating that this is an entirely different awakening that you possibly get. But it could just be an all. I'm not really sure if in this little tidbit up here in the left, I'm going to see. I don't know, bro. It goes so fast. You can see that he actually does like the ultimate. that we've seen a couple of different times with Ichigo here, but we're just not seeing it where he's actually following up with a whole entire combo. It's always like kind of a cutscene when he does it. Man, I want to learn more about that because it's just kind of interesting to see. So yeah, we got him. He's a high damage to the opponent and easy to handle. So he's kind of like your all-arounder, right? So we obviously knew that with Ichigo. He's our boy, but he's kind of a rush down, easy to understand, easy to pick up type of dude. So let's go ahead and jump into Rukia. That's our next one. The YouTube layout's kind of confusing me because I just changed it. So it's all different now. So again, we're just going to watch the first little iteration of here and then we'll break it down and stuff like that. Rukia is interesting. We've seen a snippet of her stuff, but not anything near what Ichigo got. I know they got the little 13-second trailer stuff, but I wanted to see this. So I imagine she's not going to have her Bankai, so I wonder her like awakening, right? Oh, she seems a little quicker. Damn. She's just like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Great. She's using a lot of her autos and stuff, which definitely makes sense for where she was at in the anime. So we got a reverse action. Okay. So she goes into her Shikai. Okay, that definitely makes sense. Damn. So she's like kind of a ranger almost. She got like a kind of mid-range stuff. I gotta make sure this is on loop. Damn, this game looks so good. Strong, resilient, and array of abilities for many situations. So she's kind of like an all-arounder too, I guess. But she seems a lot more mid-range. So it makes me kind of wonder what Uru is gonna be like. Okay, so man, dude, I like the way this game's looking. In terms of combat, it looks really good. So create combos in various forms of power with the, I'm not going to be able to say that to be honest, by holding the input. Oh, so you can actually hold it. So we are going to have a little bit of stuff you can do like manual combos with Ichigo. We're going to have stuff where you can manually hold inputs. Obviously you're going to be in a spot if like Renji, for example, was going to dodge this and you're holding an input, you may be trapped in like an animation frame for a couple of seconds. So you're going to have to think about that a little bit. So we're starting to see a little bit of the mechanics. Holy crap. You can shoot a bunch of them. Okay. That's what they mean by holding it. You can shoot continuously. And then, oh my God, you could just do it. It's just like back to back. Release while stepping backward. It makes Rukia momentarily invincible. Okay, so we're seeing like this invincibility stuff, allowing for punishing attacks. Okay. Oh, so it's kind of a nice step back too. So if you are in like that kind of intermediate, like kind of close range, you can do a little bit of a step back to get into that mid range, even a back state. So you can kind of see that she, before procking it, did a little bit of a back step. That's cool. Okay, so it kind of gives you a little bit of a distance closer, but it doesn't look like it does too much in forms of like actually getting Renji to stop for more than a second, because it's just kind of like a boop and it kind of just tickles him a little bit, but we'll have to see how much damage that actually does. That's one thing that I'm kind of seeing a thing of like kind of the gameplay. We have to see a little bit more of like a full match, but the actual health damage seems like a lot of it's like chip damage. It's like, it doesn't seem like a lot of your moves do too much damage. So we'll have to kind of see a follow-up attack that can be used after Rukia lunges and slashes successfully. Oh, so this is a follow-up attack. So you actually have to lunge and slash to be able to use it. So let's see this. Oh, so it kind of gives him a stun stay. I see. Okay, so she does have stuff. Damn it. I'm trying to go a little bit before that. There we go. Oh, it's like kind of the slash thing that makes Renji stun for a second. Then she's able to pull it off. So she kind of has that like mid to close range as she has to, but you can see that they're kind of pushing him back quite a bit. So it definitely seems like she's kind of in the mid range here. I want to see what that is. Okay, so this seems like it's like a reversal move whenever they go behind him, because this is like the third time we've seen it with different characters. Usually Ichigo's the one doing it, but now we see Renji and we see the same kind of like animation of somebody being like shocked that someone's behind him, which is really cool because this happens a lot in the anime where like somebody's speed, they always end up behind them. They always have this like shocked look where like, I'm about to get slashed, bro. Dude, I really want to see Renji too. So yeah, she's kind of a mid laner. So let's go back to here. Awakening. Let's see. So releasing her Shikais, she strengthens Rukia's overall capabilities, transforms her spiritual pressures moves. Oh, so it actually changes her overall kit, which we've already kind of seen with Ichigo a little bit. So yeah, she goes into this and then she's able to do, again, really that mid-range into just kind of stunning and like making, like kind of controlling the movement of your enemies. Definitely what Rukia seems to be doing here, which I'm liking, dude. I'm liking the fact that I have a lot of variation between them. I'm kind of have to see what Uru's doing next because he's the one that's like super range. So okay, yeah, so we got pretty much she has a lot of like mid-range into kind of close up as she has to be. So let's talk about Uryu. So again, we're just gonna kind of watch it, let it do its thing, and then we'll kind of talk about it a little bit. I'm curious because we've seen like small amounts of his shit, like very small amounts. And this is actually the first character that we've seen that's from a different class, I guess, because you could say Rukia and Ichigo are from Soul Reapers, and they have like that invincibility stuff. So I wonder if Quincy's also have that, or if that's just kind of like a character trait for everybody. Like everybody has an invincible move. Ooh, okay. Oh, he has a counter move. Oh, again, we see that. Oh no, he's gonna do it. Is his awakening what I think it is? No, there's no coming back, but there is. Oh, he's quick with it. So he has a little bit of a stun state too. Okay, I gotta make sure this is on loop too. Damn, his ult is that? Okay, I'm sold on him, dude. That is dope as hell. Strong with range attacks that can be performed unilaterally to keep opponents at bay. So he's definitely he's kind of a mid-range. I wouldn't say there's like a long range in this game because it definitely seems like you're always going to be kind of close to each other. So I was kind of curious to see how he's going to play since he is technically a ranged character. So let's read this first one here. So we have fires an arrow forward. If the arrow hits the opponent, Uryu uses his move to get in front of the opponent and does a follow-up attack that fires numerous arrows. So it doesn't seem like it has to land though, because we've seen that in the description. They're very prompt on saying like it has to land to do the follow-up. It looks like you can actually just do it. And if they block, then is there a possibility that you just hit it anyway? So it's kind of one of those moves that's like a poke and then you can just hit after the person, you know, obviously attacks anyway. So by holding his little sword thing, I don't ever remember how to say this name, absorbs an opponent's attack and fires back a powerful. Okay, so yeah, he does have a counter. That's pretty self-explanatory, but it's kind of cool because again, he's trying to get to that mid-range. So if somebody does get in your face, you will have something to be able to kind of push them back. We see a lot of kind of pushback from these characters that have that mid-range, which is kind of nice because you can control a lot of the spatial stuff. You know, a lot of these characters, if they are ranged, it's either turns into a range game where you can't get very close as like kind of a melee brawler type of guy, or the other way around where you can't really get away from somebody as a range. So it seems like we have compliments from each character's kit. Like Ichigo has like kind of dashes in and he has like attacks that he can do following up if he's able to get close in. And then Uryu has something where he's able to kind of get off me basically and turn like, you know, kind of the distance as well in his favor. So it seems like a nice balance so far. And we'll have to kind of see. Uryu might be cracked because he can shoot from a distance. It might be kind of hard to mess with, bro. But typically that's just like kind of a skill issue, to be honest. If you can't get too close, it's because you don't really know the other character very well. So by activating his awakening, he enhances his damage output, and by the amount of spiritual power he can acquire, making it easier to use his spiritual pressure move. Okay, so it looks like you actually get an enhancement to his damage output, and this is what I was wondering, because with Ichigo they said performance, right? So in this, it says damage. It's like letting you know that there are certain moves in awakening that does do different things. Like they're all just going to be like a boost to your speed and your power. Like there are going to be different characters that have different awakenings that give you different like kind of benefits and stuff like that. His spiritual power is interesting as well. So I wonder if that gives him his, you know, EX moves and his like reverse gauge and stuff like that. He's able to do a little bit quicker, which would definitely help him out as a ranged character, especially if he's able to use like kind of his get off me thing quite a bit. I wonder how much it changes his kit though. I'll have to kind of see. I imagine, I don't know, these kind of look like very similar moves, maybe extended. This one kind of seemed like an extended version of his original, just like kind of one shot. You can actually even see that he did a red. Maybe that's like an EX version of it. I'm not really sure. Dude, I'm kind of digging it though. This ultimate, dude, this is nuts. This is crazy good. This game looks great. I don't know what to tell you guys. Whether you dig the combat or whatever, or like the new HUD and like the 9 health thing, you gotta admit this game just does look very, very, very pleasing. So, I mean, this character is definitely really cool. I think the next ones are probably going to be obviously Chad. I would say Renji, and then maybe Orihime. Dude, we haven't seen anything on her except for the fact that she was actually in the kind of like story cutscene thing. I really hope she's in the game. Like, it definitely would make sense, right? I don't know that they wouldn't have Orihime, but we haven't seen anything of her because we've seen Chad in action. We've obviously seen Renji in action again, like 5 to 10 seconds, but we haven't seen Orihime do anything besides stand there. Like a 2-second split screen of the story cutscene. So I'm not really sure what she's going to be doing, but I imagine they're going to go with the most like obvious characters first, like they are right here, and then we'll kind of branch into it. But just the way that this game is starting to kind of look, it is kind of making me think that the roster is going to be kind of limited and that they're going to focus more on the quality of the characters versus the quantity of the characters, meaning that they're going to have a lot of diverse kits, but we may end up having a sacrifice of some different characters. Now, does that mean they're going to end up maybe in a DLC format or something like that down the road? Obviously, they're only going to the Rancor arc, which to me, again, is at the end of Aizen, where Ichigo and Aizen do their final bout. And I think that's probably where they're going to settle. So they're going to have to do a lot of real intentional things, right? Because if we're talking about base roster here, there's a lot of characters in between there to really think about, right? We have a lot of different like mini arcs and stuff like that to kind of work with. And so if they're going down the quality route, we're going to have to kind of lose a lot of characters, I feel like. So if there isn't a particular character that you're like seeing or something like that, we'll have to kind of wait, obviously. But I really do think that this roster is going to be a little bit limited. So maybe we get another, version of the game, like, a Rebirth of Souls 2 that has more stuff in it, or we get a ton of DLC that just adds a ton of different characters and they're just kind of taking the more, Tekken route or something like that, where they're just showcasing these characters and like more of a quality thing, and then they're just able to add them eventually. We'll have to kind of see, but so far I'm pretty impressed with what we're seeing, and I'm pretty happy with the overall gameplay. We'll have to actually see what the game looks like in terms of like playing it with the health bars, because that's the only concern that I have right now, is that the battles themselves could be insanely long, and that could be really fun. But if you're doing a ton of different online battles, it could be kind of tedious if you're trying to get like ranked, for example. If they do have ranked in this game and you have to do like a 10-15 minute match every single time,